take down my testimony. Early on, I fell in love with a feeling. It was painless, it was quick and easy. Thought I got the best of love in a hurry, but feelings took me halfway there. Me, oh mercy me. I found love was my responsibility. Oh me, oh mercy me. I found love was my responsibility. I can speak with the tongues of men and angels and solve heaven's mysteries, move the mountains, feed the poor, gain all knowledge, but it's worthless with no love in need. Some things just won't keep till tomorrow. They're meant to be done today. Me, oh mercy me. I found love is my responsibility. Me, oh mercy me. Well, I say love is my responsibility. Better that we learn to suffer. Appreciate the love we found. Stay with every kind of people on common ground. Oh, some things just won't keep till tomorrow. They're meant to be done today. Love is my responsibility. Love is my responsibility. Oh, mercy. Love is my responsibility. Me, oh, mercy. Love is my responsibility. Me, oh, mercy me. I found it now. I found love. Oh, mercy me. To love.
Well, thank you, Brian Duncan. What a great way for us to all wake up on a Sunday morning. And good morning, and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, your transformation station, where you are loved and embraced and accompanied on your spiritual path as we connect with Spirit and one another in a safe, sacred setting of living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. Now we're going to have an opening song. It's one you all know and love. At least you know it. It's called This Little Light of Mine, and it's going to be shared with you from a previous in-person Sunday by your music team.
All right, now please stand, and we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine. Here we go. This little light of mine
remember that delightful music team? Well, they're still ready to come back here and play for us in person when the time is right. But it's lovely to get a sense of what it was and will be again. So thank you, music team. It's time for a meditation. And I'm going to share with you a meditation that I used when our 3 spiritual communities came together last month. And it's a meditation on forgiveness. And so let's just take a moment and breathe in that precious life of God and release anything that may be disturbing, anything of the outer that's trying to get into the inner, and continue letting that sacred breath of God flow through us, through the physical, the emotional, and the mental. As we center ourselves in the love of the one for all, that presence and that power which is greater than any event or circumstance, that beautiful sacred space of light and love. Now imagine yourself just floating in a sea of serenity and compassion. Warm, gentle, relaxing, as you move gently in the water that's holding you up, nothing for you to do but just rest in it. And let the water gently wash over you. Let's begin to invite forgiveness for yourself to wash over you, to clear and cleanse and release any sense of self-doubt or regret. Forgive the not knowing of any hurtful words or deeds you may have expressed inadvertently or even intentionally because you didn't know then what you know now. And had you known better, you would have done better. Let love heal and restore you to peace. And just continue floating in that sweet sea of serenity and love. So freeing, so sweet, sacred. And now in your mind and in your heart, invite any dear ones to join you in this sweet sea of serenity. As they come into your sea, open your arms to them. See them moving harmoniously, caringly. Let them release emotional attachment to any sense of separation. Invite them into the oneness. Let them, as you, transform erroneous mental blocks of bias and invite understanding and respect in their place. Now let this circle of love expand. There's room here now for everyone. So invite anyone against whom you may have a resentment, a judgment, a regret, even anger. Invite them to join you and your loved ones in your sea of serenity. Open your arms to them. See them moving harmoniously and caringly. Let them release emotional attachment to separation and invite the awareness of oneness to be fully present in this sweet, serene sea of love and compassion and the oneness which is prevailing. Let them transform erroneous mental blocks and invite understanding and respect. Now let that circle of love expand even farther. Send that love, that understanding, and that compassion out into the world. Now thank each one who entered your sacred circle. And in your heart, say with all your heart, you are forgiven. You are loved. We are one. Now thank Spirit for its guidance and direction. And let's maintain that sense of serenity, sweetness, sacred space, and love for ourselves and all the world. Now I would like to invite our practitioner, Sarah Funk, to join us by video for an opening treatment.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday celebration via virtual again. Pretty soon we'll be able to see each other in person. Won't that be nice? So I am happy to know that you're all out there and doing well. And I have a piece that I want to read from Thich Nhat Hanh that I think is valuable for this time. And he says, with mindfulness, you can establish yourself in the present in order to touch the wonders of life that are available in that moment. And that's really wonderful because practicing mindfulness right now is very helpful. Just to know that we are one of the divine and to remember that, and that at all times we have that awareness within us that helps us to move forward in our days, being aware of what's around us, nature especially. So getting outside whenever you can, taking a walk, working in the garden, just appreciating the beauty that is all around us. And allowing yourself to let go of all of the news and the chaos and things going on in the world that we can't really have control over. And let yourself bathe in that divine presence that lives within you. If you feel you're not familiar enough with it, spend time in meditation, in contemplating, whatever brings you closer to God. So I'm going to do this treatment in the first person, and I would like you to take it for yourself if you so desire. There is only one power, one source, one infinite divine intelligence that is everywhere present because it is the creator of all of life. Wherever we go, God is. And I know that God lives within me and expresses itself through me. I know that divine light that burns brightly deep within my soul is God. And this light illuminates my pathway as I accept the responsibility to allow it to shine in all that I think, say, and do. Wherever I go, whoever I see, always letting my light shine forth, knowing that the power that lives within me lives in others as well. So knowing that we all are one, I release this treatment, thankful and grateful that this light that shines in me shines in each one. And I carry my light forward, knowing that as I do so, my life is joyous, abundant, prosperous. And for this and so much more, I am deeply grateful and thankful as I release this treatment into the great law of God, knowing it is acted upon and done, and together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sarah. This is the time that we often talk about the beautiful things that have taken place in our personal lives or that we see in the world because of this beautiful science of mind philosophy and our utilization of spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. So please be thinking about and noticing the good that's happening in your life and in the world around you, and report directly to me. Then we'll see about capturing that on video and having you share it with us on a Sunday morning, just as though you were here yourself in person. Well, let's say the affirmation together, shall we? I accept the joyous responsibility of keeping my light steady as I share it with all in my world. Nicely done. Now, kids, gather round. I would like to just have a couple of words with you. You know, we're still celebrating for the month of July, our topic for July, which is Ring Out Freedom. We don't just stop with the 4th of July. We really focus on freedom all the time. And freedom involves rights, things that we're allowed to do, and responsibilities, things that we must do. And I came across something that I thought I'd share with you today, and it's about children's rights and responsibilities. Now, I realize some of you are pretty close to more like teenagers, but just accept this as a big umbrella. Children, teens, all of that, okay? Children have the right to be protected from conflict, cruelty, exploitation, and neglect. And children have the responsibility not to bully or harm each other. Children have the right to a clean environment at home, at school, or wherever they are. And they have the responsibility to do what they can to look after their environment. Children have the right to be educated and the responsibility to learn as much as they can and to help others learn. Children have the right to freedom of thought and religion and the responsibility to respect other people's thoughts and religions. Now, I know you. I know that you understand this. I know that you take the responsibility seriously not to bully another person or to do what needs to be done to stop if you see that taking place, because everybody has the right to be free of conflict. And I know that you pick up papers when they're on the sidewalk, when we're allowed to be out there, and that you do your best. I don't know what your responsibilities at home may be, but you have a right to a clean environment, and you get to do your part, as we all do. Empty the trash, put away the dishes from the dishwasher, or load it. But we all, not just the kids, but we all as adults have a right to a beautiful, clean environment, and we have a responsibility to do our part. That means not messing up the water or the air. And we learn a lot from you, because we know that kids are right on the forefront of making sure that our world is getting clean and healthy. Thank you. And I know that even though you're doing your classes online right now, you will be back in school again. And in the meantime, it didn't stop you from learning, did it? And it's probably not stopping you from teaching others. You know, I find the best way to really absorb something that is a lesson I'm trying to learn is to tell someone else about it, even if it's your dog or your cat. You can be the teacher in your own classroom at home. And as you're learning, you can help other people learn too. That's really what freedom is about, isn't it? It's about us understanding and learning and being educated. And then you know that you respect and appreciate other people's ways of being, their thoughts, their feelings, their religions. We love science of mind. We teach it, we practice it, and we also have so many friends of different religions, and we love and appreciate them, and we respect their right to practice their own philosophies. You know, that sounded a little bit like preaching, so I'm going to let you go back to your cereal or your omelets or whatever you're having today. Thanks for being with me. Come back again next week. Okay. Well, I think I'll start talking to the adults now. Maybe I already did. I don't know. Here's a quote from Ernest Holmes. When we are willing to lose a personal sense of responsibility, when we let go of the thought of isolation and claim a real unity with God, then we lose the personal and find the universal. But remember, as the greater always includes the lesser, so the universal always includes the personal, which is a personification of itself. That's in the Science of Mind, and it's on page 454 if you want to look it up sometime. Because it takes a little musing about, doesn't it, to get that this enormity, the enormity of the beloved, of this divine presence everywhere present, is also very personal. And so as we recognize the personalness of God, we realize that our personality is probably a manifestation, it absolutely is, a manifestation of the personalness of the divine. So our first responsibility, as I see it, is to know that we and all beings are manifestations of this divine life, and we are not self-made. I remember the story about of the atheist scientist who figured out how to make life and figured we didn't need God anymore. So someone set up a personal interview with him and God. And he says, "Oh, really? There is one? All right, I'll talk to him because I don't need him anymore anyway." And so he said to God, "Thanks very much. You've done a fine job, but we really don't need you anymore because, look, I can create life." So God said, "Okay, let's see what you can do." So the scientist reaches down to get some earth, and God says, make your own earth. We're not self-made. We require the awareness that we're never alone or doing anything alone or creating anything by ourselves, that there is a divine presence and power that's greater than we are, and yet right where we are. And it is this presence that we adore. And this is the presence that adores us. And once we recognize and court the presence, as Ernest Holmes suggested, then we are able to direct the law for good, because it's a law of good. It's a power for good. And we can direct it for good. We're directing it all the time, consciously or unconsciously. So let's be very intentional about it. Let's use our rights and our responsibilities in experiencing our oneness with the divine to use this power for good in a way that supports our lives, that co-creates them for love and health and prosperity and joy, and for the world the same. We have the right to play small if we insist on it, but that only happens until we awaken to the greatness and just immerse ourselves in spirit, because we're moving away from ego influence to divine motivation, so that we're using our rights and our responsibilities to allow spirit to use us for good. We're not doing something because it's me, mine, and I want to do it, and I don't care about you. We're utilizing this universal law in such a way that we know before we begin our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer, that we ask within ourselves, is this for greater good for me and for everyone? Will it bring more life to life? Will it harm no one? Then I want to focus on that. But if I started out with my little ego desires, I would not be utilizing my rights and my responsibilities in mind in the way that we are designed to do. We have a responsibility to keep walking on this spiritual journey and to encourage others to do the same. I came across a picture the other day, and it was two women walking together, and the first part of it said, "I'll walk with you," and the second part, it said, "until you become tired," and then you see the two of them sitting down together on the path. I will walk with you until you become tired, and then I'll sit down with you until we're ready to stand up and walk again some more. Because we're all heading in the right direction. We have individual goals and intentions and great visions that we've created for ourselves and for the world, and we support each other in moving forward in that way. But we walk together. We just walk together. Sometimes we skip along together, and sometimes we just sit down in the meadow and look in each other's eyes and hold each other and say, "Oh, we'll walk in a little while. Right now, let's just rest in spirit." Your personalness, each of us has a personal identity. Your personalness and my personalness is proof that we were born of a divine personality. So now let's invite spirit to express through our persona. Many of you have heard me suggest this more than once, that our ego is not something, our persona is not something that we wish to get rid of. It's important to have this sense, this personal sense of who we are as individualized expressions of the one life. But I want my ego or my persona to become so transparent that spirit just shines right through it and guides me and motivates me into every path that I walk and every intention that I set and every goal that I achieve. You see, we all have the right and the responsibility to shine our divine light. Everybody has one. No one came into this world without an inner light. Now, some of them came in brightly. Some of them quieter. Some of them more difficult to uncover. But believe me, the light is there within each one of us, because our light is taken, our personal light is taken from the greater light. So through our shared work with the two other centers for spiritual living, Center of Peace in Philadelphia and CSL Delaware. We're inviting each other, all of the people in our 3 communities, to expand our knowledge, to deepen our connection with Spirit and with one another. We're inviting each other to share bravely authentic conversation. Can you imagine this world in which we're not afraid to speak to each other, in which we're willing to hear other people's experiences and points of view without defensiveness, without making someone wrong in our head? We're committed to bring real understanding and respect to the table. I love how we're bringing the talking, our talk, into the walking, our walk. Think about opportunities that you have in your life to bring more solidarity to our spiritual practices. Our Science of Mind teaching is beautiful. It teaches oneness. It teaches unity in diversity. It teaches freedom for all. Look sometime in the back of your textbook, and when you look in the glossary and when you look in the index, you're going to find maybe 2 or 3 pages of freedom, 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 because that's what our philosophy is all about. And we're in the process of breaking free of limiting ideas about ourselves, about others, about the God that we once believed was in the sky, perhaps, that was punitive, that watched your every move. Naughty, nice. Sounds a bit like Santa Claus, doesn't it? If we have any leftover limiting, negative concepts of a God like that, we need to change it up. I think it was Buckminster Fuller who said, get a bigger God. But the truth is, we have an enormous God, bigger than anything we can ever imagine. That presence, that spirit divine is universal. It is everywhere. It is within each of us because each of us was born out of that divine life. We're born to be successful. We're born to be victorious. We're born to be compassionate and to help others to be lifted up to their awareness of that supreme divinity which abides within all of us. It's our right and it's our responsibility to live our lives in fullness, to live them in wholeness, to live them in abundance, to live them in health, to live them in love and compassion and well-being, and truly, truly caring for all sentient beings. We've been a little bit shut down the last 4 months, haven't we? We are living with uncertainty yet. We don't know when we're going to be back here again. But what difference does it make for right now? When we can connect this way every Sunday, we will never forget you, we will never forsake you. We're always, always here loving you up, praying for you and with you, and moving forward until it's time to sit down and rest for a while, and then getting up and walking along again. And if we have to have tears with each other sometimes, so be it. Did I remind you that we are indeed spiritual beings having a human experience, and that humanity is just fine, and that humanity has emotions? It's the divine that has the feeling, and we're both. So the feelings come from the qualities of spirit that abide within us. Love, life, light, peace, power, beauty, joy. These are real entities that live within us because we came in with them having been created of the one life. The emotions, that's a little bit different, but we've got them. I think we need to honor them, don't you? It's okay to feel sad sometimes, to feel scared a little bit, to wonder, to feel uncertain. but not for very long. Because we want to come back to the eternal living truth of our being and of the beingness of the entire humanity and of the world itself and all sentient beings. Underlying all the confusion, there is clarity, because God knows nothing of confusion. Only peace, only clarity. Underneath the unrest, there's harmony, because the divine mind and heart is absolutely harmonious. So what we do is return to this place again and again until it takes up more of our mental and emotional space than the negative stuff used to. So as we've moved beyond this littleness of self, of God, and move into a more expanded awareness, it's our right to do that, and it's our responsibility to do that. Our lives become beautiful songs instead of sad country western songs. I hope I didn't offend anyone with that. It's not the music, it's the words that are a little bit funny sometimes. It's our privilege to lift one another into a consciousness of authentic love. And that includes forgiveness, as we did in the meditation earlier. To bring anyone into our consciousness of love that we may have held a grudge toward, felt confusion by, didn't like what they said or did. Let's raise each one up in a consciousness of authentic love, because then we're moving into our divinity. And that's where all the power is. All the power is within that spiritual space within us all that can see things differently, that can understand that all of the contents of our lives right now are still and will always be held in a context of love and workability and possibility. So we're choosing to ring out freedom. And as I was thinking of that the other day, I thought, and ring, W-R-I-N-G, out injustice and inequality and duality. Let's ring out freedom, and let's ring out all the things that aren't for our highest good in this world. We're making a choice. Now I'll give you a little commercial, and that is, and it's a good one, on Wednesday, July 22nd, ask for the link for the coming together to honor all humanity through authentic inner transformation and real action in our world by asking our office to supply you with that link so that you can join with us for an hour and a half plus with these three beloved spiritual communities. All different colors, sizes, shapes, ages, all brilliant, all sacred, all coming together in a context of our principles of science of mind to do the holy work that we're ready to do so that we truly can ring out greater freedom every day. What I'm aware of is that no matter what happens in my world or supposedly to me, I am responsible for my thoughts. I am responsible for my beliefs. No one can cause me to fall off my high sense of principle, but me. I'm responsible. And the responsibility, of course, is the ability to respond. And I choose to respond to that divine life within me, which is always holy, always perfect, always supportive, always embracing, always ready to remind me of who I really am, who and whose. I choose to respond rather than to react to every opportunity. It may take me a few minutes or so sometimes, but my choice is or ours. My choice is to respond to each opportunity to bring greater love, greater light into the world. I think you probably feel the same way. Let's do this together. Let's work together to ring out freedom, to let those bells of freedom ring and resound in our lives, in our hearts, in our minds, in all of humanity. Will you say with me, it is my joyous responsibility to keep my light steady. I share it with all my world. And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Oh, it's good to be with you. Now we're going to have our offertory. What a great opportunity to share our good, to keep it circulating and returning to us 100-fold, because that's how it works. So we like to give, we love to give to the closest source of our source, to the closest arena of love and compassion and life-changing thought, belief, and activity. In my case, that's this center right here. So if you care to give, and you give to care, then you can look right there on our website. You can see how to share with us your good and keep this good flowing. We're so grateful to you for that. And now we're going to speak our prosperity affirmation while we take our gift in our hand, hold it to the heart, or whatever you choose to do with it, in whatever way you give it. Will you say with me, I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am my soul inside is all right. Ooh. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Rest and your energy will be restored. Keep calm and make a self-care plan. Pamper yourself into alignment with who you really are, and then face your day. Within you, there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. God is a spa bath of water, and we are all individual bubbles. And now, the morning announcements with Edie Janik.
Oh, that feels nice. Oh, it feels really good. Whew. Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. My name is Edie Janik, and I have the pleasure of serving on the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living's board as the secretary. And you just caught me in a moment of self-care. And it's a good idea to take care of ourselves, always, but especially during times like this when we can be undergoing some stress. And you know, it's not only good to take care of your physical stress, but it's also a good idea to keep in mind the ways that we can help to nurture our spirituality during these times. And during today's announcements, I'm going to give you a lot of different opportunities that the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living offers in the way of helping you feed and nurture your spiritual soul. So first of all, I have Reverend Mike's Science of Mind Textbook Club. I personally am enjoying this experience very much. It's held each Saturday from 9:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We meet each week until we finish the book, which is quite an endeavor. It's a big book, but I'm happy to be there each week, but of course you're not required to be there every Saturday. So when you're able to attend, it is a fun and informative session with like-minded people, and we really dive in to the meaning behind the textbook. There's no cost to participate. However, if you feel so moved to provide a love offering, those are certainly and lovingly accepted. If you'd like to participate, email Reverend Mike at Rev Mike at cslphilly.org, and he'll send you a Zoom meeting invite. Trust me, it's a wonderful experience. Second thing I have to share with you is an invitation to join us on Wednesday, July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue the vital conversations the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living began last month with two neighboring centers, the Center for Peace in Philadelphia and the CSL Center in Delaware. Three spiritual leaders, powerful spiritual leaders, Reverend Tawana Malone, Reverend Kathleen Johnson, and our own Dr. Maxine, Kaye, met and visioned to establish a dynamic, collaborative way that the three communities could work together and continue to ask the question, what is God's highest idea about honoring all humanity through authentic inner transformation and taking real action in the world? It's an excellent question, and they have had wonderful discussions, heart-opening, transformative discussions. And through these conversations, we're able to come together to deepen our understanding of racism and to become more aware of the experiences of others in this time of change. We invite you to join us on Wednesday, July 22nd from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we continue these heartfelt and transformative conversations. If you'd like to participate, please contact Linda O'Neill at admin@cslphilly.com to receive the Zoom invite, and please do so by Monday, July 20th. Details on this and all other events can be seen at our website, www.cslphilly.org. If you go to the calendar, you'll be able to see details on each of these events. And you can also, while you're at our website, view the recordings from past celebrations and also the love notes that Dr. Maxine and Reverend Mike so lovingly send out to us each day. So we know spiritual mind treatment works, also referred to as affirmative prayer. We'd love to hear your stories about how this practice is working for you and what experiences you've had as a result of them. You can contact Dr. Maxine at 760-574-2490. You can give her a call or you can send her a text to share your good news. And I have one last thing. Please, we invite you to join us for the Zoom social. It's right after our Sunday celebration. Grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage. And all you need to do is go to zoom.us and enter in this number from your computer or your iPhone, 839-510-32452. And that concludes our announcements for today. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
That was amazing, Edie. The announcements just get better and better. So our closing song was written by Karen Drucker. It's called Let It Shine, and it's performed for you from memory by Emily Zoll.
Gonna be the first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to make a stand. I won't play it safe and wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine, let it shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Woo! Gonna be on Ellen and Conan, 60 Minutes and The View. They'll all be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Vogue will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice a shining light and give and receive love. So I'm going for my dreams, nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra, practice kindness every day. I take time to connect, take time to have fun. I wanna know I've used up every drop before my life is done. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Now turn to the person next to you and say, I see your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years, I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light and give and receive love. I am a woman of power, a woman of grace. The life that I've lived in every wrinkle on my face. And I love myself, 'cause I love you too. I know when we're connected, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause we shine, yes we shine. We let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Yes I shine, I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Yes you shine, oh you shine. You let your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Oh I shine, I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine.
Woo! Emily. Now, see, if all country music had words like that, we'd be playing them all the time. Wasn't that fun? That was wonderful. Thank you. I do want to mention that we have a class beginning. It is a non-tuition class, love offering if you wish. It's going to be held 4 Tuesdays. Oh, there's the flyer. It's going to be held 4 Tuesdays in August. The 11th, no, the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. It's done by Zoom. And you can get more information about that by getting in touch with admin at csfphilly.com. It's going to be those 4 Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8:30. And this is for anyone who wants to know more about the principles of the Centers of Spiritual Living and the Science of Mind philosophy. It also is a way to become a member if that interests you. But it's for anybody who simply wants to have a wonderful time exchanging information and learning more about our history, about our teaching, and actually just having a really good time on Zoom together. So that takes place next month in August. Thank you all for being here with us today. It feels wonderful to celebrate life with you, and we're going to keep doing it day after day, week after week, whether we are here, there, or everywhere. Now we're going to have our closing song, and that's a... Oh, yeah, we did that already. And so, let me just say, there is one loving presence, one powerful life and light, and it dwells within us, and it is ours to use for good and great growing good. And so it is.